Hello everyone, Geeks here once again for another Constantiam tour. And today I am touring a bit of an older base, a download that I've actually been hanging on to for a little while. This one was a base that I based out. The reason I've been waiting a little while is I wasn't quite sure how to approach this base. It's a griefed base. We didn't have a download of the base prior to it was griefed, so I'm showing off a griefed base, which, you know, people seem to be happy to watch the videos when I'm touring a griefed versus a non-griefed base, so I'm more than happy sort of doing that. But there are aspects of the base that I am missing. So at this base we had a gold farm, which don't have as part of this download and wouldn't show off anyway because of the fact that the person who built it didn't want their design shown and shared, so I would respect that. I'm also missing the witch farm, which is fine. It was a witch farm, no biggie that I've missed out on that. The other thing I'm missing is also the nether hub, because unfortunately with the download, when the download was done, it was actually done while the player was waiting for the griefer to come back online and continue griefing the base. It was a very rapid download done at the time, so we're missing the nether hub, and all chest contents are missing, and yeah, still I think enough of a base for me to show off. Yeah, hey, I show off tiny spawn bases, so definitely more than enough to show off. But yes, so I've been sitting on it for a while. The next base tour that I want to do is a really pretty base that I want to do, but I wanted to take my time in the recording, so I thought I would pop this one in between just to give myself more time to approach that base. So here we are. This is Lazy Town. Now Lazy Town has a little bit of a history to it. So the base is actually SDR24's base. Now, he established it in about November 2016. Now, he was kind enough to invite our group to base with him in November 2017 after we had to abandon our previous base, Techno Tic Land. Now, unfortunately, the downloads to Techno Tic Land have been lost. The people that had them have had storage issues and lost the downloads, but you can view an absolutely amazing video of the base by Dmonki. I will, as part of his Into Constantiam series, so I'll pop a link to that video in the description of this video. I would suggest, if you haven't seen Dmonki's work, go and check them out. He does cinematic videos and they're just beautiful and amazing to look at. So the people who invaded, so us who invaded SDR24's base was Uberslugcake, Sharpie, SirLeonidas, MTS, PattyMelt, SnipinNukes, Zomabies, HopeAnnihalator, Carl Rayon Iron, Deddryk, Jeding, and myself. So this base we were at from about November-ish 2017 to March 2018, when it was unfortunately insided and griefed. The reason it was insided and griefed was because of some weird... Someone was unhappy with something someone said about someone else. It's got to be the most stupidest reasons to inside a base ever. However, it was done. We lost the base. You see already there's griefed parts in the background. There's parts that aren't griefed. I think part of that has to do with who said what to whom and when, and yeah, no, well, it is what it is. But however, welcome to Lazy Town, named by Uberslugcake, who's been wanting to name a base Lazy Town for I don't know how long, but he finally got his wish. So let's take a look around what I'm able to show you of Lazy Town. So yes, we can see griefing, we can see complete builds, lava casts. I don't know what state the base is in now. When I left the base, this was how it looked. but I know that I left before the griefer finished doing whatever they did. So unsure exactly of what state the base is currently in now. So let's hop off. Yes, this was the lazy town. He did manage to remove the L and the A. This was lazy town. So let's head straight on over to this area here. Now this was, I'm pretty sure, was an Uberslugcake build, or it could have been Jeding's. I'm not sure. They may have built next to each other, but I think it was an Uber build. It would make sense because I'm fairly certain this is an Uberslugcake pit, and I'm sure if you've been seeing a few of my videos, you're used to seeing an Uberslugcake pit at a base. And yes, that's bedrock. Have fun coming to visit an already griefed base. Don't call me Gaga. So he's got a little bit of a workshop in here where he was storing his cobblestone. It's got, I don't quite know what he was going to do with these multi-layered rooms down here, but they're all, it's all empty. Like there's lots of levels of rooms, but they're all empty. I'm sure he had plans. Must have had a beacon here at some stage. It's taken down. This had a bit of a rude sign on it to a previous player we based at, who was at Techno Tic Land. The griefer took that sign down fairly quickly, so I don't know if they were associated with that person. But that person we were a little bit upset with because they invited a known griefer and a player who had a beef with other members of the base into our Discord, so they had access to our coords, which is why we abandoned the base. This, I'm guessing, is an Uberslugcake AFK fishing area. It's been a little bit griefed, but again, something that's fairly standard for Uber to put at our bases. This is a little AFK fishing area. Now over here, I think this was one of the builds that were here when we arrived, and this is SDR's build. It's a work in progress. Quite a neat mixture of the black and white wool there. And in over here he had his black and white sheep, but he also had sheep up in this thing here. I'm not exactly sure whether it was to kill the sheep and get food from them, or whether or not he was sharing them in some way. I don't know if he had them up here and he would share them. I'm not sure. But there were sheep. I remember there was sheep up the top here. So I'm not exactly sure what was happening there. What do we have here? Oh, I left a sign here. I wonder why I left a sign there. Maybe I left some stuff there. Or maybe I shared the sheep and put the wool into the chest. Who knows? Who knows? It's definitely one of my signs though. This was a little while ago. Don't know what this is. I'm guessing it's got some significance. Whether it came from Techno Tic Land, I'm not sure. Whether or not it's something that was significant to SDR. If any of the basemates are watching this and they'd like to tell me what the sand is there for, it'd be really nice to know. So this is, ooh, sirens. Fun. Don't know if you can hear that. I can hear sirens in the background. I think we had a sign wall here which was destroyed. Nether hub, there's no point going in there because the nether hub didn't come through on this download again. This was a hurried download in between the griefer doing their griefing. This is the Stoner 2.0, and I think this was creating either cobblestone or stone. I'm not 100% sure. A bit of redstone, bits and pieces, I don't know. It must be stone. It's called the Stoner, it would make sense. I'm guessing this piston would push the stone, break the stone maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to turn it on. I don't even know how to make it work. Oh wow, there's even more redstone-y stuff down here. It looks complicated. Anyway, this was, yeah. This is the Stoner. Oh, heaps and heaps of bits and pieces. I would love to show off someone's brilliant work on how this works, but I really have no idea whatsoever how to do it, how to turn it on. Is that fishing? I don't know. If you recognize it, you know what it is. Let us know what it is. I think this was a little AFK, SDR's little AFK fishing before we came along. A tiny little AFK fishing room. Now this very griefed build, which is almost nothing left of it, was, I think that was a chicken farm. I think there were chickens in there. This was SirLeonidas's build. Now Leo was one of the people that was very much taken offense to by the insider, so I'm not surprised that his build is one of the ones that is totally destroyed. Now this is SDR's house. I really do like the mix of the materials in this. The cute little dormer style, I think the dormer style windows here. Even the flower pot sort of to top off the chimney, I think is a really cool addition. He was still needing to do all of his interiors, so even this is quite cool. It's a little bit of extra shape to the building. Got his kitchen here. Still needed to decorate the inside. I think he had a barbecue grill out the back here. You can sit out the back and do some barbecuing. And then we've got a few rooms upstairs, but I think they've just got beds in them. I don't think there's anything too much in them. Quite like the glowstone in the carpet as well. That's quite cool. So color-coded beds for each of the rooms. Very cool. Go up another floor. Bit of an alcove over there. More rooms. SDR's room. And green room for himself. So yeah, see orange. And then up into the attic, where you can sort of see out to the rest of the base. Very cool. I think this takes you up to the roof. Yep. So then do the roof view over there. Actually, we might as well come out up here. There's no point going back down. Oh, actually, no. We do want to go back down again because there's a, pretty sure there's a basement area here. I don't know what's in the basement. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've checked out the space. Ah, storage. So this is where he had all his stuff stored. Very cool. Right, so over here was our very basic iron farm. And again, this may be an SDR thing. It may have been here before we got here. Can't even remember what was and what wasn't here at the time. You just had the, the golems falling down through here. There's a lava blade in there and the iron coming out to here. Again, nothing in any of the chests because of how quickly the download was done. And over here we had a little bit of a villager breeder. It's a very basic one over here. Nothing too fancy. I think it was just really purely to be able to enable the iron farm to be set up. Now down here is, now you see this walkway here. It's quite an elaborate walkway and it goes all the way around up there. Again, there were lava casts up there, which we'll go and have a look at those builds shortly. These were all done by SirLeonidas. Quite an extensive, some of it's been burnt away because of the lava, but quite a cool area. So Leo's fishing shack, built in February 2018, and there's lots of little slots so we could have multiple people AFK fishing if they wanted to. hopefully nice and safe. And then down here we had save clownfish, books, pufferfish. And we sort of had this area all set up. Bit of garbage disposal there. Pumpkin farm this way. Now the pumpkin farm was my little project. At the time I had just started playing Skyblock and I just learnt how to build a pumpkin farm. It was down to the ravine. I think it was down there for lighting it up. I just learnt how to build a pumpkin farm and we needed pumpkins for the gold farm, and so I built this underground here so that it would be active and collecting pumpkins as we were going, as we're AFK fishing. So this was loaded as the AFK fisher was going. Why aren't you... Ooh, I can hear other rows going. For some reason this row hasn't gone. Don't know why. Yeah, very, very basic. I can't even remember who I copied the design from. There you go, there's a pumpkin going on down there. It actually worked. More pumpkins. It's probably been working the whole time that I have been on and doing this recording, so there may even be a few pumpkins sitting in here. Ooh, very nice. So yeah, so this was my little area here, my little pumpkin farm. Of course, had to make it nice and colourful. There. Ah, where are we? Get out of here. Let's go. At least I'm pretty sure all these will be empty. I don't think any of them would have been opened. Yeah, no. It's all emptied. Oh no, here we go. Some of them were opened. So as you can see, quite a bit of AFK fishing went on, which was kind of needed as far as the books were concerned and bits and pieces, because we didn't have a trading hall set up at this point in time, so that was the only way to get any enchanted books. So I'm not going to walk all the way up this pathway up to the two builds that are up here, mainly because it's a bit of a walk and because it's not all joined together. As I said, some of it was burnt because of the lava cast, but you can see quite a bit of effort has gone into creating these walkways and little up to each of the little mountains, so basemates could come up here and claim a mountain and do a bit of building up here. So over here we have, I think someone had already claimed this area and was going to be building on here. And someone was doing something down over there because that had all been cleared out. But this here is Leo's Gold Castle. Now it's been pretty much wrecked. We also had one of these at Techno Tic Land, but a different design. So Gold Castle, but a different design. So again, you can see that in the Techno Tic Land video of Dmonki's. But it's been pretty much destroyed. I think in this room here we all had our own individual chairs, which is again something we did at Techno Tic Land. Not quite sure what was there that was destroyed. And there's another, I think this might have been the top. No, it's not the top, because you know, I don't know what was on this floor, but it's all been completely... You can see there's an extra floor up there. It's been, the other parts all been completely cobble monstered in. I might just, beacons used. As you can see, we had plenty of beacons. Beacons were, there was no shortage of those. That was the top of the roof there. You can see a little bit of, I think if I go out the side, you might be able to see a little bit more of the design. Interesting use of the beacons and the iron for the windows there. Also didn't need to break that. There was a clear one out here. So I think if I go out to the side here, you can kind of see a little bit, oops. You can kind of see the edges of the building there, sort of how the rooftop was finished off. There's that little balcony. We could see from the inside. It's quite a neat little design. But yes, oh yeah. And up the top here there was a flag. Oh, gold pressure plates up there. Very cool. So now we have the last build that I will be showing off, and that is my build, which again was one of the ones that was lava casted. Funnily enough, this little tiny little diamond shack here was actually my little AFK spot, and it's where I would log out at night. So I knew that when I logged in, because there was so much of this area that hadn't been torched up yet, that when I logged back in, if there were mobs about, I was safe. Interestingly, this would have been the ideal spot to trap my login, but they didn't do that. So in fact, the lava cast didn't even get to this point. So it's quite interesting. Also, these two chests here were full of all my shulkers, because I had my inventory clear while I was building, and they weren't touched, so it was quite an interesting thing. Now you can see quite a bit of my build actually from here. You can't from the other side because it's all covered. Even this was a bit of a weird lava cast, like it kind of goes off over there, but the build's here. It's a bit strange. I'm not even sure why it's that high, because the build basically stops here. So this kind, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand griefers. I've never built one of these myself before, so I don't know why you need to go that high to just do one little build like this. But let's pop back on over here, because we can walk all the way into my building. I had a bit of a pathway here that would connect to Leo's pathway. And you could come up in here. I hadn't had the chance to do the interior on here yet. I'd only just finished the flooring and bits and pieces. I did have a villager in here. I like to put villagers in my builds. I was still trying to decide if I wanted to go up and do another level up there, but I thought I would complete it as it was and decide to add extra levels if I wanted later on, or I was considering adding a couple of extra houses on the other mountains that were about. This was my bit of my infinity pool, or the sun lounges. Thought I had a couple of umbrellas, or maybe I was planning on doing a couple of umbrellas and hadn't got around to it. Yeah, the pool just sort of went off over the side down to there. So that was my build. I was quite happy with the use of the terracotta in this one. I think at the time we hadn't had terracotta for that long, so building into the builds was quite a cool thing to do for myself. Can we get back out of here? And I think around this side I had my mob farm. Yes, so a very little mini mob farm. This was purely just so that I could get zombie villagers, so I could convert them and get them to populate my house. So pretty straightforward sort of system. There must have been another block there because mobs could come out here, but basically it's a little bit of a dark room. Mobs would spawn in here. I would kill whatever wasn't what I wanted until a zombie villager would come along, and I would lure them into this area down here. So I think there was a block there that stopped anyone from coming through. I would lure them into here and then take them through and cure them. So I've done this at quite a few bases in order to get myself some villagers, especially up in areas like this where you don't really want to be doing a railway track to bring villagers all the way to the top. But essentially that is Lazytown. So we weren't actually here for a huge amount of time, and it was when we arrived here, it was just prior to the Christmas and holiday periods, so everyone was quite busy, but I'm quite happy with the progress we made prior to it being griefed. Sorry, SDR, you brought us here and we wrecked your base. But we've all gone to bigger, brighter, happier stuff. So it is what it is. Bases get built, bases get griefed. We move on. There is no point crying over a base for too long. You might as well get your creative juices flowing and go off and do some more building. So thank you very much for joining me on this tour. Again, I know not a huge elaborate base, but I think still some quite neat little builds to take a look at. And I do enjoy showing these off just as much as I enjoy showing fully preserved giant bases. I think any base is worth showing off the people's creative skills that have been put into them and the time and effort that they put into them. So thank you once again for joining me for this tour. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like. But in the meantime, till next week, you have a great day.